Hey you all, Broken Daydream here, back here with another video. So you guys may or may not know this, but I absolutely love the manga Don't Toy Me Miss Nagatoro. I can definitely understand why if you drop the manga after the first few chapters. Like you read the first few chapters, found her to be really annoying and very unlikable character that's just bullying the senpai guy, so you decide just to drop it. I can understand why you would do that. But if you stuck with it, you would know that she's calmed down a whole bunch, her and senpai are pretty close, and now it's just basically a story about a girl teasing the guy that she likes. And we have had fantastic development. She's not the super annoying, unlikable character you find in volume 1. And senpai is slowly but surely starting to grow more and more of a backbone. With that all said, the Nagatoro fans have been eating pretty good lately. The Nagatoro subreddit just hit over 100k right before the 100th chapter dropped. The English dub came out and overall it's got a positive reception, minus that mess that went down on Twitter. That wasn't cool. The last few chapters have been really fun reads, and now we have chapter 100. So I'm going to do a non-spoiler review first, and then I'm going to get into spoilers. I was excited for chapter 100, but I didn't set my expectations very high, especially after reading chapter 100 of Please Go Home, Akutsu-san. And I was right to not set my expectations too high. This chapter is just a prelude to the field trip arc. It has a couple of wholesome moments like our characters being excited about the field trip, and it has a couple of funny moments too, like there's one joke that really made me laugh, but I'm not going to spoil it here. But at the end of the day, it is just a setup chapter. So let's get into spoilers. Let's break down this chapter. Well, before we get into spoilers, let me ask you guys something. Would you guys like me to go back and review previous chapters? Would you guys like me to continue on from here and review every chapter of Nagatoro that comes out? Let me know in the comments. So the title of this chapter is If We Were in the Same School Year. That immediately made me think of chapters 34 and 35 of the manga. It's the chapter where senpai is kind of slacking on his studies because he's been playing a video game, and then Nagatoro kind of gets on him like, hey, if you don't get your studies up, you might be held back a grade. And they both kind of start to imagine what it would be like if they were in the same grade. And senpai's like, that doesn't seem all that bad, and Nagatoro gets all flustered. It's a great chapter. So I was like, are we repeating things? I hope not. Luckily, that's not the case. It starts off in classic Nagatoro fashion, with Nagatoro coming to see senpai in the club room. Surprisingly, he's not working on a sketch, but instead he's working on field trip plans. He was picked as a leader, and his job is to come up with different activities that people can do on the field trip. It seems like the field trip is to Kyoto. And of course, in classic Nagatoro fashion, she starts to tease him about, hey, don't mess it up. But senpai is actually serious about coming up with a good plan that everybody can enjoy, and Nagatoro takes notes of that. This is when Nagatoro's like, dang, if we were in the same school year, we could have went on the same field trip together. But then senpai brings up, he's like, the second and third years go on the same field trip, right? So then Nagatoro gets all excited. She starts looking up activities that can be done in Kyoto and starts imagining doing those activities with senpai. It's actually pretty wholesome. But there's a chance they may not be in the same group. So the way things work is that certain third years, like senpai, come up with different trip plans. And on that plan is a list of activities that they want to do. They post their plan and people can come sign up for it. But only a certain amount of people can join one plan. So if too many people sign up for the same group, then they have to do a lottery to make things fair. This is the plan that senpai came up with, a Buddhist statue tour. I shouldn't be surprised, but I am surprised that he came up with such a boring plan. What I'm not surprised about is that no one signed up for his plan. But that means Nagatoro can sign up without any worries, along with her friends. This really makes senpai's day, and he's super excited, and he starts to imagine what it's going to be like spending time with Nagatoro. Again, that's super wholesome. But this is when Nagatoro kind of starts to throw a wrench into his plan. She's like, hey, can we add penguins to the list? So then her friends start throwing in different activities that they want to do. Are they going to completely take over his field trip plans? I guess we'll find out in the coming chapters. So I can definitely understand why the girls want to add on more activities and not just look at Buddhist statues the whole time. But this is probably senpai's last field trip. The girls still have next year, so I feel like they should do what senpai wants. So what are my predictions for this arc? I can see this going a few different ways. I can see the girls being really selfish, doing what they want and not what senpai wants, but then last minute they're able to do something that senpai wants. I could see it to where the girls leave senpai with no time to do what he wants, so then Nagatoro has to do something special to make things up to him. I could also see it playing out where there's some drama and conflict. I could see the girls constantly saying what he wants to do is boring and blah blah blah, and this kind of gets on senpai's nerves and he finally snaps at them. But at the same time, I feel like the girls know senpai enough not to push him to that point. But I can also see a situation where they actually stick to senpai's plan, but he can tell that none of them are really having fun looking at Buddhist statues the whole time, so they start doing stuff that they want. So what are my hopes and dreams for this chapter? I would like to have Senpai to have like a serious conversation with his friends about his feelings for Nagatoro, like what she means to him and stuff like that, you know? I'm also hoping we get some time with the girls from the judo club. I kind of want there to be a moment similar to the one in Kaguya-sama where they're both kind of locked in the storage room. In that scene, Kaguya closes her eyes, basically giving the president the green light to make a move. I want there to be a moment like that just to see if Senpai would even attempt to do anything. So overall, chapter 100 was okay, but I'm looking forward to the future. So if you guys like the video, like the video. And if you like me, subscribe to me. And as always, this has been Broken Daydream, and I'll catch y'all next time.